If you guys need any cards, packs, sleeves, anything of that nature, shop on TCG Player using my affiliate link in the description. What's good, YouTube? Today we're going to be going over the kind of final list that I've been thinking about going into that IRL event in Pittsburgh this weekend, and that is, of course, Moja Cat. I know what you're thinking. He can't be serious, right? Well, I am, okay? I'm always serious, and I kind of like this deck. I'm not going to lie. I kind of like it. I feel like it's been doing solid, and we're going to see some of that. But first, let's just go over the list, explain everything I've got here so far. So, my ratios are, it's gotten weird. I've got the 2 of this and 1 of this. I actually am considering going down to just 1 king and then 1 beast striker. 2 Mojas pretty much necessary. You cannot just play 1 of that though. So yeah, I could see like 1 and 1 though. The second king of the beasts was only really there for consistency reasons. It is like a brick, sort of, if you draw it. It's like you want to just mill it. You just want to get to it. And I think over the course of like a long duel, which this deck plays pretty slow usually, we should just hit King of the Beast eventually with all the milling. So you could maybe conceivably get away with 1. And then Beast Striker, I don't really think we need more than 1. I think we can kind of play it like a weird toolbox with the Moja, where, you know, cards like Beast Striker and Hamster and whatever, they just end up in the grave and you can add them back off Moja. Or like you just see it just as often as you really want to. Like you don't want to be drawing Beast Striker all that much. I don't know. 1 just kind of felt better to me, and I think I was on too many normal summons in the earlier build, and something kind of had to go. So it pretty much had to be this because I didn't want to touch the Hamster. Obviously, Hamster very good in here. Didn't want to hit the Raikos or the I feel like everything. A lot of the monster lineup is just so set in stone and so necessary. So I kind of had to whittle down there. But I do think we want to keep to 20 monsters probably for like the Pot of Avarice stuff. But yeah. Then we got all the Synchro Cat cards. We got the Rat Box because it's a level 4 beast, and there aren't a lot of good level 4 beasts, and it gets you to Cat and Grand Mole and stuff, which is good. Got a bunch of staples. Book of Moon, basically just like a spell, to use for Monk, and it's decent. We got the flip monsters. It can protect your recruiters from stuff like Brain Control or Deep Prison. You could put your Hamster or your Raikou back down. So it's got some good utility on top of that. Triple Avarice, I think you need to be on Triple Avarice in any cat deck. We've only got 1 cat, so if you want to be making any kind of plays, you're going to have to be able to put them back somehow. Then Cold Wave and Minecon, obviously very good in Synchro Cat as well. And then I filled out the list with some Legacy of Yadas. I think the draw power is decent in terms of just seeing things a little more often. And then, like, obviously it's just good at baiting noobs into trying to snipe your back row with whatever for no reason, and you just chain Legacy and feel really smart, so that's nice as well. I don't know, it's just like a decent thing to round out the list. I could cut it, I could keep it, whatever, the current version's pretty good. Side deck, we got a lot of standard stuff. The only unusual card in here is maybe Iron Wall. I think we can get away with it. The worst thing that could really happen with King of the Beast is it gets banished, so Iron Wall protects that. It protects them from, like, people might side in Crow to disrupt your Avarice. I don't think it's particularly good to do that, because Crow doesn't actually disrupt any of your real plays, but people might do it. And then, like, generally we're just playing a list that can play under Iron Wall, and I think Iron Wall is a very underrated side deck card, so that's why we're on that. Anyway, we can probably just get into the replays. We've talked quite sufficiently about the deck list at this point. So let's start with the first one here. We got like 5. I played this deck all day yesterday, so we got a lot of replays to go over. Opponent in this one is playing some crazy, like, this is like a Hopeless Dragon, but with Reasoning Gate, I guess? Which you could almost see that if there weren't so many 4s. I don't know, I would have to look at the list, but opponent just reasons, they hit a Gores, which is like, I guess it's a big guy, so I don't know, could be worse. I think they're gonna, no, they just summon Wyvern and attack. And Raikou pops the set turned out to be Plague. I probably should have just popped the Gores, right? Yeah, I definitely should have just popped the Gores. What was I thinking? I was thinking I had Torrential set, and like, I just got Torrential eventually, and the Gores like doesn't generate any value off that. So here I do Torrential. They send an Orlorus, so we get to rip. We rip the Summoner Monk. Opponent draws into card destruction. The issue is all these red meds are going to be coming back, and we can't even get over this Wyvern. Yeah, it's not so good. So they go for trade-in, go for upstart. Wonder why they didn't card D. Oh, they just summoned the red med, and then we bottomless. But that doesn't stop the Dark Horse from coming out, so yeah, we're in a bad spot. We're in a bad spot at this game 1. I drew MST and Cold Wave against this, like, no back row deck, too, which is an issue. It's just, like, a straight neg, too, because of drawing unfortunate cards. So here we're kind of just chilling with this Gores token, trying to wall up. I don't know how long that could have lasted with this Gores token. They have a Plague down there. Presumably all they need to do is draw a level 4. And then they can make Brionac and out it. But now we're kind of camped behind this Trag. However, I feel like we need to clear up that Summoner Monk. I think I made a mistake here. It's probably good to run over the Monk. We definitely needed to do that to stop them from making like a synchro play or whatever next turn. But crashing with the Horus was a big mistake because we knew about the Dark Creator, and it's just going to come down summon Red Med, summon something else. So I think that was probably a foolish play. I was getting a little bit antsy. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe we could have just waited and stalled for deck out or something this game. So we're going to not die here. We chain the Legacy, which is pretty good. We get a +1. Obviously, we need to Trag to stay alive. Then I think we just don't have an out. Yeah, we draw this Gores again. Did I have that Gores earlier? I don't remember what happened with that Gores. It must have gotten like Avarice back, or what did happen with Gores? I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to the replay as I was watching it, apparently. Anyway, opponent opens Few Dad. Man, that's crazy. We do have the bottomless for the Dad, but this is not good. This is not good. The only like respite from this is we do have Monk Spell. We do have Monk Spell. Unfortunately, we don't have another spell, which means we're not going to be able to Avarice later. But yeah, we just have to go in with this, right? We have to kill everything. We have to go hit in with the Arabelle and rip the Dark Creator, which is good. Opponent draws into a dead trade-in. We crow one of their red meds, and we out the other one, or the other one just comes down. And yeah, we do have Fossil Dyna now, though. Fossil Dyna is going to kill everything. And yeah, just everything. So that's pretty good. That is pretty good. The concern is... There is no concern, actually. We're just ripping apart their hand with Arabelle. We would lose if they had Gores, though. But you know what? That's in spite of like everything. So we gotta hope that they don't have something this game, because they opened Few Dad on me, and that's difficult to come back from. Here, they can't do anything, right? Okay, yeah, we go to game 3. So we actually managed to play through quite an insane bullshit opening there. This game, we see our Thunder King, and now it's like, oh man, we've got Thunder King. So they Monk, they bring back the Plague. I must have Thunder King'd this Goyo. I forget why. I had like some logic, but it had nothing to do with thinking the set might be to create. I was thinking this was like DDV or Treacherous. But I decided to Thunder King here, which ended up being very smart, because I would have gotten my Thunder King Goyo Guardian, and they would have flipped the Kree, and I would have been owned. So yeah. Here we go ahead with the Arabellum in, and they're kind of just bricked, which, you know what, I deserve for them to brick one of these 3 games. That's how it goes when you're up against one of these high roll decks. Like, 1 game out of 3, you get to have them brick. That's just how it is. And yeah, it's super over now. Like, we're ripping their hand apart. We have Fossil Dyna. I had Lethal here. Maybe I should have just gone for it. I don't know. I'm still playing like the back row could be something, but it's not. And with Fossil Dyna on the field, there's just nothing they can do. So we managed to pull that one back after a tough game 1. Next replay. I don't even... What is this? 43 card main, 3 card extra? Oh, this was against Burn. Why do I even have this one? You know what? You could skip this one if you want, but I'm going to go over it anyway. It was really dumb. The opponent was some, like, Burn player who's never played Edison before or something. But yeah, we get Lava Golemed, which... Oh man, so unfortunate actually. We were just going to pop 2 cards, but now we even Lava Golemed. So I should have maybe just booked my own Lava Golem, but I was still thinking maybe I could book this Super Nimble Mega Hamster and then do something. Yeah, for some reason I go Mistworm, which I should have Cold Waved. If I'd Cold Waved, this would have just been game over, right? They couldn't set anything. I guess they could set Dyna. So it wouldn't have been game over, but it would have been bad. I decided to book my Lava Golem here so we don't take that 1k every turn. We go for Brain. I need to out that Dyna so I can make a Synchro play later with this Arabellum, which there's still a Black Rose in the extra. And the opponent has Starlight Road set, but we have Cold Wave, so it's not really going to matter what they have set. Unfortunately, we don't draw any monsters. And we're also under Jowgen now, so it's like I gotta get rid of this Jowgen too. But we find a charge to go into a Raikou to get rid of the Jowgen. I assume this new set might be the Stealth Bird instead of the Penguin Soldier, and it is. So they hit in, we Mirror Force the Stealth Bird. Might as well Mirror Force. I mean, we're not getting a whole lot of options to use that. Anyway, we can just make Brionac and win. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to kill the Jowgen. They're under Cold Wave. We make Brionac. We Synchro. We add. We pitch 3 cards to bounce the set monster, as well as the Area Bee and the Messenger of Peace. And then we flip up the Lava Golem and attack for game after we finished arguing with our opponent about whatever is going on here. Like I said, the opponent was kind of a new player, so it is what it is. On to game number 2. This is like the least informative match ever. Did they even draw for turn? Okay, there we go. There we go. I could have sworn they drew for turn there. Yeah, I don't know. It's getting included in the video anyway. There's like 4 other replays, so whatever. We Raikou the Stumbling. They're playing like Pac-Man Burn. Good lord. So here we make Black Rose. And what is this? Royal Prison? Why is this even in here? Anyway, they tried to stop Black Rose's effect with Book of Eclipse. And then I explained to them why they can't do that. And then they like quit the duel or something. So enjoy this has been the 3-minute bonus segment on some guy who's never played Edison piloting the weirdest burn deck you've ever seen. On to the next one. I don't know. I had to include it. What can you say? And we opened double King of the Beasts. See, this is a good argument to not play 2 King of the Beasts in the deck right here. You will never draw 2 if you don't play 2. Anyway, my opponent's playing Hero, and they opened a Future Fusion, and yeah, this game 1 was rough, because I feel like we really came close to playing our way out of this shit, but then they just, like, kept drawing everything, you know? It's like, in this situation, it's just, oh, well, I hope they don't have Miracle Fusion. They have Miracle Fusion, and then it becomes, like, at some point, it's like, I hope they don't have Gores, and then they have Gores. I don't know if that's yet. I could have also crashed one of these Mojas here to add back the cat, which I maybe should have done. It would have put me dangerously low on life, I guess. Yeah, I can see why I didn't do that. They said MST, we MST. Yeah, now it's just like... oh, actually, no. They're playing around... we flipped the Raikou. I forget what happened here. I think they compulsed their Ocean back, but that's, like, fine. We hit in, and here's the part where they have Gores, and we're really sad that they had Gores. We booked down our Raikou... So we're not out of it yet, but it's looking pretty rough again. We mill one of our Avarices, but then we draw one of our Avarices. All right, we got a good break there. But that Hero Blast is going to be really annoying for us. We summon out the Trooper, we mill 3, we hit over, and then we get owned by Hero Blast here. And then they also have Gem Spark. Man, oh man. No, wait. Like, the bigger issue was actually them just having Mirror Force, I think. Maybe we didn't need to go for this. I don't know. If they just, like, add back Stratus, though, that's so bad. So I think we needed to out this, but then they just, like, had the Mirror Force off the top, too, at which point we do concede, so a pretty rough series of breaks there for us in game number 1. I think that game was potentially winnable, even despite us opening double King, going second into Future Fusion, which is kind of crazy, but, yeah, it just didn't pan out that way. So here in game number 2, we're getting beat down by the Stratos, but we have like Stardust Iron Wall, so there's pretty much no way we should ever lose. I decided to bottomless the Alias. Here they try to deprison, we flip up the Iron Wall, then they Honest, then we set Raikou. But we have Call to just bring back the Stardust Dragon. And now, I mean, the game is super over. I think we call back the Stardust. We don't Cold Wave. Maybe we should have Cold Waved. I guess there's no Miracle setup, so we don't care. And they just scoop it up because they drew a dead card there. The Iron Wall did serious work. I think I actually made some mistakes with the way I sided in Game 3, and that kind of messed me up. I took out the third Avarice, which is something I should pretty much never do. Also took out the Iron Walls, which was just wrong and gimmicky and dumb, thinking, oh, they're going to bring in triple Dust Tornado from my Iron Wall. It's like, well, might as well make them have it because the Floodgate absolutely destroys them. So that was really dumb, too. Here we just bottomless. I mean, the opponent opened, like, Future Fusion set 4. This was a tough one, but it was maybe semi-playable here. Our hand was definitely better than Game 1, although still not particularly good. We've drawn it. See, now we have both our Avarices, and I think, let's see, we Raikou, kill the Ab-Zero, so that's pretty good for us. They go, yeah, they have a Stratos now, though, not good for us. We're down a lot of cards, but I think we can sort of start to come back into this game in a moment. We have to, I blind Typhoon. Unfortunately for me, I hit this, or fortunately maybe, I hit the Starlight Road. Then we go for Cat, and here's the part where things kind of suck for them because their face downs are just like Deep Prison and E-Call. This is why I never played Deep Prison, by the way. It's just such a passive back row, so we can just yoink their thing and make black rows and then basically equalize, which would be a great situation if I hadn't bluff set my other Avarice, and if they didn't just have Miracle Fusion, so now I immediately need to answer this big Ab-Zero threat, which I managed to do with the Raikou. We draw into Card Trooper, I just set it. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should have been attacking with this. I mean, they would have just Hero Blasted it, but 2 of the Deep Prisons are gone, so it's probably not a justified thing to worry about. They're just setting everything. Oh, I milled my Heavy. Okay. They knock, which I'm not sure why they kept this in. They should definitely try to minimize the cards that straight up lose to Iron Wall after they got owned by the Floodgate in Game 2. But it didn't really matter here whether Trooper gets knocked or not. They go for Miracle. Maybe I should have been playing for Deck Out at this point since the opponent's like running out of gas. I definitely could have done that. But I don't. I also would have had a much better time of doing that if I had had that third Avarice in my deck, but I had to play this whole time knowing that I just, like, don't. So they hit over my Rat. We get another Rat, and they Hero Blast the Rat, and then we Trag at this point. I think we're just waiting on Cold Wave to see if we can make a play. We weren't able to chain the call to do anything, unfortunately. Now we Cold Wave. Fortunately, there's no Gem Spark. That would have kind of sucked. I mean, a little bit. It would have been the end of the world, I guess. We steal the Alias, hit over, rip the card out of their hand. Unfortunately, we can't make Black Rose in main 2. We definitely would have won the game if we could have done that, but the Black Rose is in the grave. We don't have any more Avarice to put it back. So we had to make Thought Ruler. Here, they deprison, I pay 1k, and then they just add back the Alias and kill me with Honest. So I think if we had sided properly, we probably could have won this one, but we did some like weird decisions with the side decking in Game 3. And the cards I cut were definitely not right, and then the cards I chose not to put in were also definitely not right. I don't know why I had Legacy back in going second. Like, it's just not good. What was I thinking, actually? Yeah, I don't know. Side decking's important, folks. That's all I gotta say. Anyway, on to the next match after the unfortunate loss. It was a close match, you know, a good match, but we did eat the L. Oh, this was some weird Poly Diva Hero thing. The opponent was playing, I think they Storm, we chain Legacy and feel really smart. What can we say? They Sark for Few, and they like Poly. No, they don't Poly yet. I don't know why they didn't Poly in main 1. I guess they just wanted to see me drop the Trag so they could Dark End it, but it's like you could just make a good level 8 as well. Here we go for Cold Wave because actually I don't think they get the Few next turn. Maybe I shouldn't have Cold Waved here. Well, now they can't set the Judgment and Judgment my Grand Mole, but we just go for the Beast Striker, King of the Beast play. We hit over the Dark End. I choose not to attack directly because we would just lose to Gores. I think it would be really bad. So here we do remember to have them bring their Future Fusion to hand. They activate it, whatever. Apparently they play King of the Swamp in here. They call back the Dark End. We bottomless. They Judgment. I guess they had to Judgment because they were just going to lose if they didn't Judgment. Yeah, I would have Allured here, probably. Yeah, I definitely would have Allured. Yeah, now you're just getting your guy bounced, and, like, they knew about the Grand Mole. Should probably just Caius this thing, and then have me bounce your Caius. But they don't do that. They bring down the Ab-Zero, they Sark for Miracle. They set the Diva. I don't know why they didn't just crash the Ab-Zero. It's like, well, it doesn't really matter. So now we go for the Avarice. Put everything back, draw 2. And then we set the Legacy, and yeah, they scoop it up. What? Can they not make any plays here? Huh. That's weird. I didn't remember this game ending after one match, but whatever. That's why we got more matches. That's why we got more matches. Quantity over quality, baby. Yeah, we got like 3 full matches out of this video, and then actually, now that I think about it, the match against the Burn guy was technically a full match, even though it was a full match versus a questionable player. Here we're up against, oh, this deck's crazy. This dude's playing the Montage Dragon OTK deck. Maybe I should make a version of this deck that doesn't play like the bad level 11, level 12 stuff. I feel like it's almost doable. Possibly. I have to check it out. Like, maybe you're just like not, you just play the Montage Dragon as like a, think of it as like Dark Gaia, where Dark Gaia decks have kind of transitioned to playing more just like focusing on playing good cards rather than playing memes like Valkyrian to try and one-shot completely. I could almost see it like that. Almost, maybe. Maybe that's dumb. I don't know. I feel like you could still get really big Montage Dragons, though, with like Machina Force and Eltanen, and then Tragodia, and then you can play some like 7s and 8s and stuff, probably, too. So you could get like, you could get some like, 8k attack Montage Dragons going somehow, or 6, 7, 8k. Still be really huge, still be able to one-shot out of nowhere in a lot of situations. I don't know. We'll have to experiment with that later, because I think it's a cool deck. Of course, this is Zeuxid's build. Opponent, somehow this guy drew Witch Gallus every game, by the way. It's actually crazy. Fortunately, we never got burned for like 1 billion off the Gallus. But, oh yeah, that MST was on the field, not in my hand. I decided to commit it to the field to make the opponent more likely to go for this Black Rose play, given that it is just a worthless card in this matchup anyway. So that's kind of what happened there. Then they go Revive Fortress, attack, that's whatever. Game 2, or what am I talking about? Next turn, we go into Cataster, we kill their guy, we Pot of Avarice back everything, it's all good. I think we set the mirror, and then what the hell happens? Okay, we hit in, they Fader, set call. Here we Mirror Force, obviously, we're not letting them just eat our card. Then we attack. I feel like, yeah, it just like didn't dawn on me that they're playing Montage Dragon, which is why you see me playing the way I am with like the 100 attack Moja and bottomlessing that Fortress. So game 2 and 3, I realized that is what's going on, and I adjust my play accordingly. I think that's okay. So they just like top decked the Montage Dragon and they go for game, and it actually works. That's crazy. All right. Well, obviously we didn't really understand what was going on there until it happened, but hopefully we don't lose like that again. Opponent, see what I mean? They have Witch Gallus again. Now, fortunately, we make them do a very suboptimal Witch Gallus here because we have Hamster Raikou, so they just have to like trade essentially 1-for-1, but committing their normal summon, which is, I mean, in Monster Mash, your normal summon's like your whole turn often. So here we get ripping with the X-Saber Arabelle. Very nice. Opponent goes for Giant Trinade. I just had a Solemn. I guess the fear is if they have one like +1 normal summon, like Witch or Gear Frame, and then they have Montage Dragon, I would just lose if I booked my own monster and let them Trinade. So we had to Solemn. And then here they go Summon Fortress, attack. So we end up going down real low. Oh, I didn't take enough damage there. I hope that doesn't end up being relevant. I don't remember if it does. Let's see. So if I go below 1k, it means I shouldn't have won this game. Is that what's happening? Well, obviously, okay, we would have died to that attack either way, so I had to book it. And then we flip. We set the Dyna. They attack. They lose all their monsters. Okay, so I should be on 1300. And then Dyna kills their whole field. But I don't think I ever take damage again. Maybe I do. I take like 500 damage. So that would have put me to 800 instead of 1800. But yeah, it wouldn't have mattered. I wouldn't have been able to use the brain control to go for lethal like this, but I would have been able to just flip Raikou, normal summon another monster, go for lethal. So, alright. My screw up there didn't matter. That's fortunate. That would have looked really embarrassing. I think we just go for Cataster here because they passed on an empty board, so they have to Fader to not lose cards. And then, yeah, the one weird thing about this deck is they don't have a lot of good ways of converting off Fader. Maybe you should just play Caius. It's like, you play Gallus and Fader. I mean, I think every Monster Mash deck can probably just play Caius, right? So here, now we got Thunder King in play, we got Mind Crush, we got Mirror Force, so it's looking pretty scary for the opponent. They go Trunade. I maybe could have just Mind Crushed the Montage Dragon. I guess I didn't feel like I needed to. Because between Thunder King and Cataster, it's like, how are they hitting me directly this turn? I guess their plan here, what they try to do is they try to bait me into Thunder Kinging the Fortress so that they could make Black Rose and then summon Montage, but it doesn't have enough stats, actually. Right? How big would this Montage be? Level 10, level 13, level 17, so that would be a 51 Montage, so they wouldn't be able to kill me. Actually, yeah, I don't know. This just was not going to work. I do decide to summon the Card Trooper Mill, get the Avarice going. I think, based on the way they played this turn, I just assumed that they must have the Montage Dragon. I didn't realize that their other card in hand was exiled, though, or I would have just been okay with them having Montage Dragon, but I obviously immediately Mind Crush, and I'm just like, get it out of here. Get it out of here. Yeah, I guess I thought the other card was Tragodia. So we're not losing to that anymore. Based on what they have, it doesn't seem like we're losing to anything, really. They play into the mirror thinking they have pretty much no other option, which they kind of do, but then we have the mirror, so mildly infuriating for the opponent there. We go in, we kill everything, and then they draw another exiled force, and that's just going to be the end of the duel. So we ended up taking it 2-1 over the Montage Dragon OTK Monster Mash pile deck. So that was a lot of matches. Some of them were against real decks. Some of them were against jank. Some of them were barely even matches, but, you know, that's what you get. That's what you get when you play against DB randos. I can't exactly help it, so I don't know. I thought a couple of these matches were pretty cool. At least, like, the Hero Beat one, even though we lost, was definitely informative and whatnot. I think there was even the Monster Mash one, I think, was decent. I think Monster Mash is a little bit slept on, even within the current metagame. I don't think that deck is quite as jank as people pretend it is. Especially, I mean, this was a scary matchup to play against, where it just feels like you can die at any point. So yeah, there's that as well. That first Dragon deck too was definitely, it felt scary playing against that as well. I know it didn't look scary at game 3, but when your opponent's Future Fusion Dark Arming you know, that definitely. Whew. All right. Anyway, those were the Moja games. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you thought in the comment section. Thumbs up the video. I'll see you next time. As always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Furthermore, if you enjoy my content, you should think about becoming a channel member. You get access to tons of bonus content, and it's a great way to help support the channel.